John, Brother John, watchman for that great day. And as I said, there would be a second part, and I believe there will be a third part as well. This is amazing information. All I can say is there are no words. All right. So with that, I'm going to bring in my brother Ronnie once again. Hey, brother Ronnie.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Good to be back again.
What a day it's been, eh?
What a day it's been.
Oh my goodness. What we have just received in the last even hour since we made our first video. Mm-hmm. This is our second one in the same day. Mm-hmm. And doing a little more studying and then finding stuff that just there's no words for it. So, but what we're going to do in this video is we're going to show you what Brother Ronnie has found. And he went and made what, a spreadsheet, Brother Ronnie, on
yeah, I do have it on spreadsheets, but it's a timeline, and it's from our last video, brothers and sisters. And if in that video, if you watch that first, the foundation video, you'll find out that we have two celestial signs in the signs, Qumran, which is the Dead Sea Scrolls, otherwise known as the Qumran Scrolls, and we explained that in the first video. So it's essential that you watch that. Mm-hmm. So that's what this first one is. We've got two timelines, okay? We'll show you the second one that is in there, but we just kind of want to, maybe get some questions or maybe some thoughts you might have on this as well, but we're going to show you what the timeline looks like, okay? So if you take a look at it, you'll see Qumran at the top, Qumran Scrolls, Dead Sea Scrolls. This is May 14th of each consecutive year, as you see posted here, where my cursor's at. Right. And this is, of course, May 14th is the date that Israel became a nation in 1948, right here at the top. So I started 1948, and we are looking at...
Excuse me, Ronnie. You also made note of the Sabbaths on this, where there's an S or a Sabbath on each on some of these, but I don't know if this one has it or not. But
this one does, but the Sabbath day is going to appear over here on the right column, the far right column.
Okay.
All right. The second timeline we're going to show you, the Sabbath will be over here on this side, but you'll see that. But for now, we are looking at Qumran, and that is a major sign as far as we're concerned, because that pointed us to the scrolls. It's in the May 14th, 2025 77th anniversary year, and we're going to show you that.
Yep. So you can roll it down.
Sorry about that. I had somebody at my door.
Oh, of course. Do you want to pause the video?
No. Let's just continue on here because I've got a few minutes yet anyway. So,
okay.
All right. 1948. So we're going to scroll down and just want to show you the sequence in which the woman and the lion appear. Okay. Yeah. And John, you remember the count, right?
That was like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, going all the way down, and you get down to 1972, and there it is. Ram is in the woman, right? But notice it's 4, 3, 4, 3, but it's lion, woman, woman. It's like there's a combination there, back and forth, first to the lion, and then to the woman, or vice versa. But it's a pattern: 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. Okay.
So notice right here, 1972, 1979, we've got a 7-year gap in between here. We get the same thing when we go to 1979 to 86. There tends to be, and it's between the woman and the woman. Notice up here, it's the lion, the woman, the lion. Yeah. Here we have a 7-year gap in these two instances between the sign and the woman and the sign and the woman and the sign and the woman, between them, okay? All right, we're going to continue scrolling down. Yeah. We have yet to understand fully the significance of
what does the 7-year gap thing even mean? But there it is.
Right, there it is. Scrolling down.
7. Yeah.
And as we get further down in the years,
it goes back to the 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. The count between being in the lion, being in the woman. It's back and forth.
Yep.
It's very interesting.
I noticed on this particular one that I must have a couple of timelines here because I don't see my Sabbaths on the sideline. Yeah. But you're going to see it in the next You're going to see it in the next timeline. The Sabbaths remain the same. They don't change. They're the same on this timeline as they are in the next one as well. So we're going to continue to scroll down. And right here, anybody take notice of that? Between 2018, the 70th year anniversary, and the 77th year anniversary in 2025, the year we are in right now, Qumran is switches back from being in the woman to the woman. There's no line in between there, and it's a 7-year gap. It's interesting that this falls between the two anniversary dates. And of course, my contention in the last video is that that 7-year in my studies thus far seems to represent God's covenant.
God's keeping his covenant, and it's a delay, isn't it? Because we all thought, brothers and sisters, we thought 2018 for sure, because using Psalms 90:10, right? 90:10, 70 years, right? And so we were looking at Israel. Oh, it's been a nation for 70 years. It's got to happen. The rapture's got to happen. It didn't happen. And here we are 7 years later. Now, Brother Ronnie finds this is very interesting. It's a unique pattern of, the count between the woman, the lion, the woman, the lion, then it hits and goes between two, the woman to woman to woman, right? It's in there for a 14-year period. It's a 7-year gap, but between the woman and then another woman, that would be 7 years, and then there's another 7 years, and it's the woman again. But that was up in like 72 area, up in the 70s, back in the 70s.
Right.
But here we are. What's very notable is that it's on the 70th year of Israel, and here we are pointing out that we've now passed 7 years, and it's giving us a 7-year whatever, gap.
So
also that 7 years on 2025, right? Important, and very important. You're going to find out even further yet about how important 2025 is.
Right, we're about to reveal that.
But we're going to show you.
Right. So when I did this timeline, I there's the question, right? Jubilee year. All right. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because I believe this is the only reason that the 7 extra years exist for Israel is because he's keeping his promise, about the covenant. And that would be the only reason they get the 7 extra years in my thought processes and in my studies. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we want to move to the next one, John?
Yes. All right. Let me move, because I have to make it less screen, and then go back over here, and you got to ship it over to me so I can pop it up.
I've got to present that one, share the screen, and this one is going to be the Monachia or the Monachia, however you want to pronounce it. I did a timeline on that one because these two are intertwined, interconnected. The Qumran is a community, as we know, as we explained in the previous video, and the Monachia describes that as a religious community. Or sect. That's what the meaning of this term is right here. So
can you make it a little bigger, just a little bigger, brother? Just like to fill up the screen just a hair.
I don't know if I can make it any bigger because it is a file.
Oh, okay. All right. There's nothing on there.
I'm not sure if I can make it any bigger than what I've got it already.
Okay. That's all right.
So again, we start at 1948, and you see the Sabbath over here in the S, right?
Now, let me just make clear what that Sabbath is. That Sabbath
is May 14th.
May 14th. That's when he points out the Sabbath, brothers and sisters. That falls in that year of 1949 on May 14th.
Right.
It didn't land on 1948, but 1949 was the Sabbath on May 14th. That's an important, somewhat,
exactly.
All right.
So again, we've got the sequence here: woman to the lion, lion to the woman, woman to the lion, and then all of a sudden, you're seeing it now. I put some color on here so you can see it. We've got a gap of 7 years beginning right here in 1962, a 7-year gap. Okay. I also wrote in here the number of these 7-year gaps so you can see that as well as we scroll down. Okay.
Yeah.
So as we scroll down, you're going to see that there's not only 1, there's 2, there's 3, and you can count them on your own time, but you'll see that there's 7-year gaps in between here.
Yeah.
3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th year gaps. Now, this is from woman to woman. These 7-year gaps occur, if you go back and look at them, they're from woman to woman. They do not appear in the lion, okay? So that caught me by surprise. And I didn't realize that there were seven of them until I got done doing this timeline. And I didn't realize the Sabbaths are very significant in this, or they appear to be, right, John?
And yes, and so let me read something to bring this. What we're seeing here is incredible, and you have no idea what you're going to hear, but it's pretty amazing. So when I first saw this, I didn't know what to make of it. I wasn't even really that excited, but I was like, wow, because Monachia recognizes the Qumran, which basically is where the Dead Sea Scrolls are, and there's also the Sabbaths. So there's 7 Sabbaths. So in Leviticus 25, 8 and 9, I'll read it again. It says, "And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths." So you get that? This is, and I first tried to tell Ronnie, I said, well, we're kind of reading between the lines here. But he's like, no, we're not. We're being shown something. Mm-hmm. This is not reading between the lines when there's a sign in the heavens that holds a name of an asteroid that happens to mean the same thing as Qumran. It's a sect, it's a religious community, and this is all basically lining up with the Essene prophecies that have been lost basically by years and fragments and different things. But it's gonna blow your mind what you see.
And you want to emphasize that it's 7 years.
Yes,
7 Sabbath years.
That's right. So there are 7 Sabbaths, which is a total of 7 times 7, which is 49 years. Which is, what is 49 years? What is the 50th?
The year of rest.
A Jubilee.
A Jubilee.
Right. So when you have 49, at the end of that 49th, when it finishes, that is a Jubilee. It's a super Shemitah, all right? 7 years is a Shemitah. 7 times 7 is 49 years. There's your Shemitah. But then the 50th year is a super Shemitah. It's the first day or the first year of the next count of 7. Right. That's the way it works. So what where
else do we see that 49, John? Where else do we see that?
In Daniel chapter 9, verse 20.
Chapter 9.
No, absolutely. 25.
So I'm sorry. There's Leviticus, brothers and sisters. I've got to go here in a few minutes, but Leviticus 25:8, and thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto 49 years. So it doesn't say specifically about how those Sabbaths are supposed to fall. It says 7 Sabbaths of years. Here you have 7 Sabbaths of years. Because why? If you count the Sabbaths, you'll note that there's 7 of them in between when this sign began right here. Okay, the 7-year gaps began. You have a Sabbath year on May 14th, their anniversary.
Their birthday.
7 of them right there. Yeah. There's the 7th within those span of 7 years. So, brother, this is just, brothers and sisters, just information. It's all coming to fruition. It's all starting to make sense to us. And John has a incredible video that's going to follow this one. And I believe this is the mic drop, brothers and sisters. I really do.
Yeah, and I can agree to that. And wow. I mean,
wow.
There's I think I'm going to name the video the part 3 of this series. There's no words, because that's the way. And I feel I'm amazed, and God is showing us, brothers and sisters. So be watching for the next video. And until then, I'm going to give you Brother Ronnie, you can blow the shofar as good as I can. Ready?
God bless you, brothers and sisters.
Information. God is revealing and showing us things that I consider myself unworthy to receive, but God sees us all by the blood of his Son.
God bless you, brothers and sisters. See you soon. Watch part 3, watch part 1.
Amen.
Amen.